Now boys, good positioning in FPS games is one of the most important fundamentals because it directly determines how much control you have over a fight before it even begins. So in today's video we are going to break down 10 positional mistakes you probably shouldn't make in Rivals, and starting us off at number 1, standing in the open too long. One of the easiest ways to get deleted in Rivals is to linger in wide open spaces without any cover. This mistake usually happens because newer players tunnel vision on an enemy or rush to get an objective without thinking about the exposure. Now the impact for this is brutal. Every second you are out in the open, you give enemies free angles on you, and if they are holding the high ground or scoped in, you won't last very long. Now pros know that the fix is always moving from cover to cover and treat open areas like hot lava, where the goal is to minimize exposure and make yourself a tough target. Next up at number 2, ignoring high ground control. Many players underestimate how powerful high ground is and instead choose to stay on flat terrain because it feels safer and less complicated. The problem is, ignoring vertical control lets the enemy dictate engagements from above, giving them better sightlines and damage opportunities. The impact is you'll constantly find yourself shot from angles you didn't even consider, losing fights before they even begin. Now to fix this, learn to prioritize high ground whenever possible. It gives you natural cover, a better view of the battlefield, and forces enemies to waste resources just to contest your position. Now at number 3, overcommitting to choke points. Now choke points, those tight hallways, doorways, or narrow corridors, are magnets for beginners who believe holding them guarantees kills. But overcommitting to them means you are easy to predict and easy to flush out with explosives or coordinated pushes. The impact is often devastating. You get bottlenecked, trapped, and overwhelmed. The smarter approach is to treat choke points as temporary opportunities, not permanent homes. Pros often rotate quickly, peek to apply pressure, then reposition before enemies can adapt. Next at number 4, sitting too close to teammates. Now crowding around teammates, I get it, it feels safe, but in Rivals it often creates a death trap. This mistake happens because players think staying together equals teamwork, but in reality it can make everyone vulnerable to explosives, spray fire, or a single well-placed flank. The impact is that instead of trading and covering each other, you all get wiped together. Now the fix to this is spacing. Pros spread out just enough to cover different angles while staying close enough to each other to trade if someone goes down. Now at number 5, overextending without support. Pushing too deep into enemy territory alone is one of the most common positional errors. It often comes from overconfidence after winning a fight or from chasing kills. The impact is that you get isolated, cut off from your team, and surrounded by multiple opponents who collapse on your position. Pros rarely if ever do this. They extend only when their team is ready to follow or when the map state guarantees they won't be punished. The fix to this is learning patience, push with purpose and not with impulse. Next at number 6, holding predictable angles. Now boys, I swear dude, beginners love to hold the same corner or head glitch spot over and over, thinking it will keep working. The problem is, once the enemy knows where you are easy to pre-aim or easy to flush out. The impact is that you go from having a defensive advantage to being a predictable liability. The fix is to vary your positioning, change your angle slightly each time, and make yourself unpredictable. Pros master this by rotating between multiple power positions and keeping enemies guessing at all times. Now at number 7, neglecting flank routes. Tunnel vision is deadly in Rivals. Many players focus only on what's directly ahead, ignoring side lanes or alternate paths. The impact is that flanking enemies catches them off guard repeatedly, leading to easy deaths and lost objectives. Pros constantly scan the area, keep awareness of timings, and position themselves to either prevent flanks or execute them. The fix is simple, it's awareness. Never assume safety just because you haven't seen an enemy in front of you. Next at number 8, staying too long in spawn or safe zones. New players often hesitate, lingering in spawn areas or defensive zones because they fear dying too quickly. Now while it feels safe, the impact is you contribute nothing to map control, objectives or team pressure, and to make matters worse, it gives the enemy freedom to dominate the field while you are hiding. Pros never make this mistake. They move out decisively, using safe routes and teamwork to establish control. The fix is building confidence. Understand that good positioning doesn't mean staying back, it means being in the right place at the right time to help your team win. Now at number 9, ignoring objective-centric positioning. Now boys, I get it. Chasing kills, it does feel rewarding, but ignoring the map's actual objectives is a major positional error. This happens when players confuse fragging with winning, leading them to wander away from what matters. The impact is that your team loses winnable games even if you rack up flashy stats. Pros position themselves where they can influence objectives directly, whether it's defending, contesting, or creating space for their team. The fix is shifting your mindset. Now yes, kills are valuable, but only when they help secure the win condition. And finally, at number 10, staying static for too long. Remaining in one position for extended periods is rarely a winning move. This mistake happens when players camp, hesitate, or simply forget to rotate. The impact is twofold. You become predictable and you give up initiative, letting enemies dictate the flow of the game. Pros always keep moving, rotating, and adapting to the state of the match. The fix is adopting a dynamic mindset. Understand that positioning is not a fixed choice, but a constant adjustment based on what's happening around you. And there you have it, boys. Those were 10 positional mistakes you probably shouldn't make in Rivals. But what do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.